just too dirty.
Another slow year is in the books for sturgeon spearing on the Winnebago system. Spearers say they blame poor water quality. Spearers came nowhere near the caps in Lake Winnebago this year.
Not at all. The 2013 numbers were very similar to 2012, and Drew Smith joins us now with a final look at the numbers. Drew?
Yeah, the sturgeon season is now over, and the slow start, well, didn't get much faster as the 16 days went on. Poor water clarity, one of the big things to blame on Lake Winnebago, though the upriver lakes closed fairly quickly. Today, the final day to try to spear yourself a prehistoric fish. This year, however, while the numbers were not huge, the fish were, with more than 9% of those taken, topping the scales at more than 100 pounds. Just 10 years ago, it was only about 1% of the fish were 100 pounds plus. Today, just a dozen taken in Lake Winnebago, and so as you can see, only about 20% for some, only 10% for others in those total cap numbers, a very small fish haul. But however, yeah, they didn't take a lot of fish out of the lake, but those involved with the spearing says it isn't always about the fish.
It's the thrill of the sport, I guess you could say, and the traditions that come with sturgeon spearing. It's not just about harvesting a fish. It's about getting together with your group, going through the same traditions every year. It's kind of similar to opening weekend at deer camp.
Well, the DNR says that it is now crunching those final numbers, which are very similar to last year as well. To look at trends, they'll have a season summary coming out in the near future. Fox 11's Kelly Schlicht was at the way stations around Lake Winnebago today. She shows us what sturgeon spearers thought of this rather slow season.
As the shanties went out 2 weekends ago, sturgeon spearers were optimistic. But as the 16-day season wore on, hopes began to fade.
Well, it was pretty ugly out here for most of them. Yeah, dirty, dirty, dirty.
Today is day 16 of the 2013 spear fishery for sturgeon here on Lake Winnebago. And our thoughts are the season's, it's drug on, it's been a long season.
DNR sturgeon biologist Ryan Koenig says despite seeing record fish sizes, the number of sturgeon harvested this year is nearly an exact match of last year's totals. In 2012, 566 fish were harvested from the Winnebago system. This year, spearers topped that by just one. Koenig says it's the second year in a row for low totals.
We've seen some really nice fish harvested, but overall, with the poor water clarity, the harvest has been down.
Though 2013 was a slow season out on the ice, many spearers still got out in their shanties on the last day of the season, enjoying each other's company and the tradition of sturgeon spearing.
It's a remarkable creature, and just the fact that we can have our spearers can go out and harvest as many fish as they do even in down years. This doesn't happen like this anywhere else in the world.
And despite not catching anything, many fishermen still say the annual tradition was worth it.
It was awesome. Every day.
And there's always hope for catching one of the prehistoric fish next year.
But they're out there.
On Lake Winnebago, Kelly Schlicht, Fox 11 News.
DNR says thanks to the rules and caps of the last 20 to 30 years, they expect that the taking of large fish will continue year after year.